7 a.m. till 9 p.m. Pick up sliced Eats and Watson's Deli Meat, freshly made Italian bread, and Lewis Dairy Milk.
Headlines you can't get through your day without. On Power 101.7.
All right, good morning, everybody jumping on Facebook Live this morning.
What's up?
Here we go at 6:35. This coming from CNN. Okay, evidence uncovered so far, including weapons and tactics seen on surveillance video, suggests the level of planning that has led investigators to believe the attack on the U.S. Capitol was not just a protest that spiraled out of control. A federal law enforcement official says among the evidence the FBI is examining are indications that some participants outside the White House left the event early, perhaps to retrieve items to be used to assault the Capitol.
Oh.
So basically they're saying, it wasn't incited during the event or kind of spiral out of control. It was already pre-planned.
Oh.
So there you go.
Okay.
Crazy new information.
It was pre-planned.
Yeah. I mean, the evidence that has come out so far.
Okay.
Okay. Here's some interesting news. And hey, look, I'm all for it. MSN is reporting President-elect Joe Biden's COVID-19 plan calls for 100 million shots in the first 100 days.
Okay.
100 million. Okay. We've been hearing stories about how states are moving too slow with the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I have given props to Governor Larry Hogan of Maryland for stepping up, moving it forward, which we'll have more news about that coming up in a sec. But President-elect Joe Biden wants Americans to get 100 million COVID-19 vaccine shots in the first 100 days of his administration. Unbelievable goal to reverse the slow start to the nation's vaccine rollout. Biden offered few details on how his administration would achieve the ambitious timeline during Thursday night's speech on his proposed $1.9 trillion economic recovery package. He plans to share more details Friday on his vaccine plan. He says, quote, "This will be one of the most challenging operational efforts we've ever undertaken as a nation, but it can be done," Biden said. "We'll have to move heaven and earth to get more people vaccinated, to create more places for them to get vaccinated, to mobilize more medical teams, to get shots in people's arms." Biden proposes $20 billion for a national vaccine program with states, local government, and tribes, and will include community vaccination centers and mobile vaccination units to reach remote areas. The plan also calls for hiring 100,000 public health workers in roles such as vaccine outreach and contact tracing. Biden also wants to invest $50 billion to expand testing for coronavirus. The money will be used to purchase rapid tests, expand lab capacity, and aid school and local government testing programs. Despite much fanfare and hope the vaccines will bring a close to the pandemic, immunization has started slowly. In December, the FDA authorized 2 vaccines and a 2-dose regimen, and the Pfizer BioNTech doses have to give 21 days apart. Moderna's is 28 days apart. Of 30.6 million doses distributed as of Thursday, then 11.1 million have been administered, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So out of the 30, only 11 million have been administered.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 11 million is a lot of shots, but
yeah, but
it's not.
For them, it's not enough. Yeah.
Last Friday,
in order for us to have like the herd immunity, I think we need to have that number that he's trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, they were showing I don't know what news channel, because like I said, when I go to the gym, it's like you got MSNBC, you got CNN, and you got Fox, and there's all different. It's all different. But one of the news channels was showing like the states that are doing really well with the vaccine distribution. Some of them having like 60 some percent of their inventory out already, and states that are struggling, some of them only had like 20-30%. And it was amazing. The ones that are struggling, California, they only got like 22-25% distributed. California.
And what's the reason? They don't have the resources to give the vaccine?
Well, they just opened up Disneyland.
Vaccine, or what's
they had
going on?
no, whatever they have, they've only given out.
What the heck?
Yeah. So what's going on here?
Because there was a lot of time to prepare.
California is the
9-10 months.
Yeah. California is the
It's
one of the biggest
what
states in the country.
Everyone was waiting for was to get the vaccine.
Yeah. So what's going on? I know they opened up Disneyland, which is not open like regular Disneyland, but they opened that up. It is in Florida, but in California, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
They opened that up. It's a major vaccine distribution now. But let's go.
Hopefully that'll
Let's
help.
go. You know? So last Friday, Biden's transition team announced plans to prioritize the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, get as many people vaccinated as quickly as possible. So we will definitely be following this. Let's go, guys. Let's definitely go. Okay. Also, in Biden's plan, he plans to cancel student loans immediately. Okay, that's another story out by Forbes. Joe Biden is calling Congress to cancel $10,000 of student loans immediately. He proposed it, and that's what he wants to do also in his first 100 days. One of his first orders of business. Let's see here. Also, he proposed spending the $1.9 trillion as he unveiled his rescue plan for America, other than the 100 million doses in the first 100 days.
Right.
He unveiled the massive multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package. So here's how it breaks down. The president-elect in an address to the nation from his hometown in Wilmington, he was expected, and he did, to spell out the details of the plan. He wanted, like I said, the COVID-19 vaccination program, boost coronavirus testing. He wants to reopen businesses and schools. He also wants to provide $1,400 stimulus checks for Americans to make it 2,000, because we just got 600. He wants to add another 1,400. And from what I understand, I could be wrong here, but from what I saw yesterday, that would include 1,400 plus 1,400 for the kids.
Okay.
So 1,400 for everybody. Because we got 600 before, now 14.
Jeez. Are you sure with all these numbers, man?
Am I sure?
No, is Biden feeling all right?
So that's what he wants to do.
What?
So that's where we're at. Now, this was breaking news. Chicago mayor.
Yeah.
Now, we did the story the other day about how Cuomo now,
Yep.
he gave the state of the state for New York.
Yes.
Cuomo now says that restaurants need to open. We need to open up New York.
We can't go on this way forever.
That's what he said. That was a quote from
Right.
Governor Cuomo. He's been one of the tightest governors in America. Now, all of a sudden, interesting timing, he wants to open back up, he says. And they're doing it. They're starting to
Good.
loosen restrictions, which is great news. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting
Oh, I know.
that all of a sudden, now the governors who were the tightest are doing the old switcheroo. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot flip-flops on lockdown of restaurants and bars. They need to reopen as quickly as possible, she says.
This is in Chicago?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay? Mayor Lori Lightfoot says Chicago restaurants and bars need to be allowed to reopen as quickly as possible to cut down on instances of private parties where people don't take proper precautions against COVID-19. So she says, look, we need to open up now.
Okay.
So I don't really follow Chicago politics as much as I do like New York because of the location and all that.
Yeah.
But I just found it very interesting.
Of course.
Restaurants and bars closing at 10 now. That's over. Now they're open.
Yep.
So
Till 1 a.m.
Yeah, so back to normal. Also, Lady Gaga is going to sing the national anthem at the Biden-Harris inauguration. Just FYI, coverage on all the news channels starts on Wednesday. And Jennifer Lopez is also going to be performing. Yes. Thousands of U.S. National Guard troops have descended to Washington, D.C. ahead of the President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration next week. So there's video floating around and just very interesting to see all that. You know, crazy.
20,000, right?
Yeah. The Saints aren't marching in just yet after being postponed over COVID-19 concerns. The much anticipated movie, which I can't wait to see, The Many Saints in Newark, which is kind of like a, continuation, a movie about the Sopranos, starring James Gandolfini's son. is finally set to open, but they're pushing it a little bit. September 24th, 2021, almost a year after the original planned release date. The Sopranos prequel, which will be is being produced by New Line Cinemas and released by Warner Brothers, was originally set to hit theater streaming services in September of 2020, but now it's going to be September 24th, 2021. The David Chase created Mafia flick was later rescheduled for spring due to the ongoing pandemic, but there you go. Can't wait.
September.
Yeah.
2021.
And shout out to my man Troy Cash from Tops Cut Off. He's a big Sopranos guy too, and we've been talking about it. He can't wait for it either.
I bet.
He can't wait for it either.
Man.
Jess, I know you got stories about Governor Hogan, but do you have a story about the Laurel man?
Yes.
You have that story too?
I do.
Who turned himself into the FBI?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got those stories.
Yep. So a Laurel father and son confessed to the FBI that they were among those who took part in last week's violent insurrection of the U.S. Capitol. The pair turned themselves into authorities on Thursday morning. The U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. says that Kevin Seyfried and his son Hunter are both facing 3 charges related to the alleged roles in the riots, according to the FBI. Both men broke into the Senate building through a window, and soon after, Kevin was seen parading the halls with a flag. A woman who wishes to remain anonymous says that she immediately tipped off the FBI after recognizing Laurel residents Kevin and Hunter in viral photos and videos from riots at the U.S. Capitol last week. I saw it happen, and I recognized the boy as soon as I saw it, and I saw a picture of his father, and I recognized him immediately as well, and I was very angry, and I thought that I should turn them in to the FBI. I was appalled, she says.
Wow.
All right, so there you go with that. And then in Maryland, Governor Larry Hogan held a press conference to provide an update on COVID-19 vaccinations in Maryland. Hogan announced the immediate activation of Phase 1B of the state's vaccination plan to begin on Monday, January the 18th. Eligible groups will be expanded statewide to include all Marylanders 75 and older, as well as anyone of any age living in assisted living or independent living facilities, and also behavioral health group homes. Also included in Phase 1B are K through 12 teachers, education staff, and child care providers. Beginning on Monday, state health officials are directing all Maryland hospitals and county health departments to begin utilizing the remaining doses of opening Phase 1B clinics focused on the elderly. In addition, the state will be moving to Phase 1C on Monday, January the 25th, which will be open to all Maryland residents ages 65 to 74.
Okay, hey, let's get it rolling. Let's get these
Moving
numbers down,
forward
guys.
with
That's
this.
what we want. That's what we want. 6:48. We'll continue next. Bill and Jessica Sports coming up. Good morning.